Hari Om. Adam Swagatam to all of you. And all of you, please open your Prarthana Shloka and Yam Brahma and Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Can you please have all these shlokas ready with you? Suprabhatam. Namaste to all of you. Hari Om. Please have the text ready and please chant the Prarthana shlokas with me in mute mode. The Prarthana shlokas are extremely important. That is when you get the Bhakti Bhava to Bhagavan, Bhagavad Gita and everything. So please make sure that you chant the Prarthana shlokas with me and the Yam Brahma and Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Okay? Once again, Hardam Swagatam to all of you. Let's start now. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Medeva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parambrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nithaye Sarva Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurti Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankara Acharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Mande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakatav Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punaha Ishvaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Sri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Mudanmaham Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Tunvanti Dimyaistavaihi Vedais Sangha Padakramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidussura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha Om Shri Krishnaya Paramatmane namaha Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita Prathamodhyayaha Arjuna Vishada Yogaha. All of you please open your text which has been given as part of our Gita 2022 course. The second set of text. That means the first one was related to the Dhyana Slokas. The second one is related to the first chapter. Have you got it? All of you got it? Can you please acknowledge that you have got in the chat box? Okay. It has been always there. We have not removed it from there. I hope some of the volunteers can confirm that both the texts are still available. Both the Dhyana Shloka text as well as the first chapter text is available. Can you please confirm? Both the texts are available. You have to write fully. Yes, yes, matlab I cannot understand. Both the texts are. Can somebody write in the chat box, please? Be clear in communication. That's when I can understand. Okay. Okay. Now open that. And in serial number 3, that Anu is very good. Okay. Both texts are available. That's correct. So let us guide the other people. Okay. Very good. Good. So if you go to serial number 3, page number 3, there is one sloka. Okay, this shloka is the Mangala shloka written by Sri Adi Shankaracharya at the beginning of the commentary for the Bhagavad Gita. All of you please understand that the Bhagavad Gita cannot be studied as it is. Neither study as it is nor refer to book as it is. You have to study only through the commentary of great jnanis. Not even scholars. Scholarship is even secondary. Jnanam is primary. So unless you study through that method, you will not understand Bhagavad Gita. So it's important to remember Adi Shankaracharya before beginning study of Bhagavad Gita. So we chant this shloka and this is sampradayam, this is tradition. So please understand. So the texts are available as part of the link provided in the meeting note. Please pay attention to your WhatsApp messages. Okay, fine. Now, let us all chant this. I will chant twice. Once I will chant and then once again you can follow me. If you know, you chant twice. Doesn't matter. Om Narayanah Parom Vyaktat Andamam Vyakta Sambhavam Andasyantaspi me lokaha Saptadvipacha Medini. Pravarha, you also have to learn this shloka, okay? Om Narayanah Parom Vyaktat Andamam Vyakta Sambhavam Andasyantaspi me lokaha Saptadvipacha Medini. Om. Now, before beginning the next set of shlokas, I'll give you a brief introduction of the first chapter. Please understand that the real message of the Bhagavad Gita, and what is the real message of Bhagavad Gita? The real message of Bhagavad Gita is all of you, whether you are attending Gita class or not, whether you are in any profession, in any part of the world, you are doing anything, all of you are epitome of pure Anandam. You are all Ananda Swarupam. Raja Sagar, Shubha Saim, good evening. Correct? Huh? The message of the Gita is you are all pure happiness, pure bliss. That is the message of the Upanishads. Please understand. You learned in the Dhyana Sloka? Sarvopanishado Gavaha. Chant with me. Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. Thanks to all the volunteers. Please support all the newcomers. They've got a lot of questions. I should not get distracted with those questions. Then the lesson will not move forward. Please understand. Okay. Thanks to all the volunteers. Please look at the chat box and help the newcomers. We need some facilitation. Okay. Because we're doing systematic study of Gita, it is slightly different from the way other people do. Thank you. Thanks to all the volunteers again. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, see, the message of Gita is that you are epitome of happiness. And so you have no cause for worry. There is no reason for you to worry. And that is what Bhagavan starts the message in the second chapter, 11th shloka. So make a note. I keep saying for systematic study of Bhagavad Gita, please have a pen and paper. All of you, please switch on your cameras. Okay, at least for this 1 hour, forget about your own physical existence. I'm telling you, you're all nature of pure Mamtaji, Suprabhatam, right? You're all not this physical body, right? You are pure consciousness, pure Anandam, right? Why you have this feeling that what will happen to me if I come in the camera like this? What do people think? Don't have the, forget that. Forget your individuality. Just come and look at other people. I keep saying, if you want to emerge as a person of supreme happiness, one of the things you need to have the 4 E's. I say, write down the 4 E's. Energy, energize, edge, and execute. You be very energetic. And people should get energized when they see you. That is when you can make a difference to the world. There is no difference between normal people and people who are studying Bhagavad Gita. If you're a student of Gita, you should be energetic yourself. You should energize hundreds of people. That's the entire world. My guru used to say, the entire world should be epitome of happiness. There should be no worries. There should be no problem. There should be no health issues. And we all are ambassadors of that. So please come on the camera, switch on the camera, look at each other, energize everybody, so that everybody gets energized. Okay? Right. So the message of the Gita is that you are all of the nature of pure happiness. But when I say, and this is not something that is told by some person, it is told to the Vedas. Please understand what the Vedas say. We have to at least first accept reverentially. You may not maybe believe, you may not say that I don't understand, you can maybe say that. But you have to accept, correct? Should we not accept the Veda Vedam, whatever Vedas say, Rajendran sir, Shubha Saim, correct? Whatever Vedas say, we should accept, correct? So please understand, one of the qualification for a student as per Shastras itself, as per our Sampradaya is, student is called as Shastra Vishwasa Shali. So, madam, a student is supposed to be given a title, Shastra Vishwasa Shali. That means what? You at the beginning should be trusting. The Shastras is Vedam. Vedas are the primary Shastras. Vedo Khilo Dharma Moolam. Smriti Shile cha Tadvidam Acharas Chaiva Sadhunam Atmanaha Tushtihi Evacha. The Vedas are not meant for some just one ritual. The Vedas are meant for Atmanaha Tushtihi. Bharati Sheshadrimadam. That is for our own happiness. The Vedas, the Shastras, the Puranas, whatever sages say are not for some, put some rules, some conditions and discipline on you. No. The inner message is to make you realize that you are the nature of pure happiness. Pure Anandam, that is the goal. Irrespective of gender, nationality, religion, creed, community, nothing. All are epitome of pure happiness, and that message is what Bhagavan will be starting to Arjuna in the 2nd chapter, 11th shloka. Please write down 2.11. Don't forget, very important. See, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Lux, Shubhasa, I'm correct. Angin 2, 2. If you are like a Ramanujam mathematician, you can always get some formula. How to remember that? 2nd chapter, 11th shloka. And in fact, Adi Shankaracharya's commentary for the Bhagavad Gita starts at the 2nd chapter, 11th shloka. So till that point, there is no commentary. Then you can say, why should we study 1st chapter, 1st shloka to 2nd chapter, 10th shloka? This is a question. You should have, right? Logical question, right? And Adi Shankara didn't write commentary for this. Why should we study? Please understand, Adi Shankaracharya expects certain things to be understood before he starts writing the commentary. And what is that the great Acharya is expecting us to know? The great Acharya is expecting us to know 2 things. One, that though the Shastras are saying, though the Shastras, Vedas are saying that we are epitome of happiness, we are not able to experience that today. Am I right or wrong? Vidya Shankar madam? From morning to night, 24/7, from the beginning of birth till your last breath, you are supposed to enjoy your life as pure happiness, pure bliss. But what is happening? Most of the time, we are miserable. Some problem or something is happening, occupying the mind and say, "Arey, this problem, that problem." And on one hand, Shastras are saying that I am happiness, but that's not matching. Whatever Vedas are saying, Upanishad is saying, Gita is saying, I am not able to bring it into my experience. That is because we have not understood. We have not understood our true nature. We understood ourselves very, very superficially. It's like this, when somebody gives you a present, birthday present, marriage gift, they give, no? You're all happy collecting all the gift. When you look at the box with lot of cover and packing and all those things beautifully, can you say what is inside that? Can any one of you guess what is inside that? Some people are very smart. They put lot of paper. Finally, inside one pen may be there. Rajendran is there. Something very small will be there. So you really don't know what is inside that package until you open the package. Similarly, this body is like a package. Unless you pierce through this physical existence, go through the mind, go through the intellect, go through your own state of so-called happiness that you experience during deep sleep. Please understand, all of us have experienced wonderful peace and happiness during deep sleep. Yes or no? Everybody takes, goes to bed every day, right? You all go and take rest, right? Next day morning, get up and say, I'm so fresh, I'm so happy, I'm so peaceful, right? But sometimes I am very disturbed sleep. I'm very disturbed. Today I had a very bad dream. So I'm very disturbed, right? But all of us mostly go through a state of happiness during deep sleep. Even that, all those different states of physical existence, of my own mental state, of my intellectual capability and confusions, and then piercing through that, the state of so-called happiness during deep sleep. Why is it? What is happening? What is my real nature? Am I this physical existence? Am I this mental state? Am I this thought process? Am I this intellect? Am I the so-called experience during the sleep? All that has to be analyzed, because we are not superficial. Just like the box in the present, they give birthday present. You're only touching the surface. We have not opened the box. Until you open the box, last cover, and see what maybe an emerald is there, maybe a diamond is there. Similarly, when you go through the intellectual journey of knowledge, that's why knowledge is a key for this. That's why it's open to everybody. And when you go through this journey, you will find that the greatest, most precious pearl, the most precious ornament is there within us. That is the supreme happiness. Because that is what we all are struggling, morning to night, 24/7 throughout the life, correct? Is anybody working for unhappiness? Madam, correct? Everybody, Seshadri sir, correct? All of us are working for happiness. And this happiness, once you discover it is within you, what kind of peace will come to you? You will continue to do all your activities. You will continue to do all that you need to do for your family, for your society, for your people around. But you will always be in a state of great happiness and bliss, no complaint, no problem. That's why I keep saying, once you study the Gita, no tension, only attention, right? So please understand, the message starts from 2:11. But one has to understand that we don't know that I am pure happiness, correct? That means what? We don't know there is a problem. The reason we don't know that we are happiness because there is something blocking us from knowing our true nature. Yes or no? Just like the covers, various covers are there. Sometimes you need to get scissors to cut. If you don't have, then you cannot open the packet properly. Like that, there are certain things that are blocking us from knowing our true nature, like discovering the emerald inside maybe a box. And that is called recognition of the problem. Please understand. Please write down. Recognizing that today I don't know I am of the nature of happiness is the first thing. And an event normally has to happen for you to ask this question. Please understand. Normally we don't ask this question, right? Krishna Lakshmi madam, correct? We keep on moving from point to point. Morning, you have to light the lamp, put column, then coffee, then ribbon, then keep on running from pillar to post, right? Where is the time to sit down and think? Shastras are saying happiness, I am not able to experience. And that means there is some issue. I don't know. I have got this lack of knowledge of my true nature. And like this, once a week, on Thursday morning, India, Wednesday night, US, sit down. For 1 hour, it is a journey within. Please understand, it is not talking about anybody else. It is about our own nature. It is for us only. Bhagavad Gita is for every individual. Okay, it is not something that you should say happened some 5,000 years back, so it's not applicable to me. It's for us. The setting is given in the first chapter of the battlefield and Arjuna's confusion, so that Arjuna can discover the problem that he has got. Till the time he was faced with the situation of having to start fighting his own Pitamaha, his grandfather, his guru, and his own cousins, he didn't know that he had a problem, correct? Do you all know what happened in the previous day before the start of the war? There is one meeting, like a war room, like they're doing a war room right now in the Ukraine issue. There is a war room in Ukraine, war room in Russia, war room in US, war room in France. Every country has got a war room. They're monitoring what is happening. Ukraine, correct? No? Yes or no? Monitoring, right? Like that, there is a war room in the Pandava camp, in which Arjuna is the chief spokesperson. He is saying very confidently, all that these Kauravas have humiliated us. The only way is that we have to establish Dharma. So it's called Dharma Yuddha. Please understand, it's called Dharma Yuddha. That's the reason that the sloka, the first sloka, begins with Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Understood in last class? Last class, why the whole Gita starts with Dharma Kshetre? Though it is, you can say Ahimsa Paramo Dharma, correct? If you do Himsa, if you do injure somebody, then Dharma is negated, correct? Rajendran sir. But why this is called Dharma Kshetre, the greatest battlefield where so many people died? It's called Dharma Kshetre. What for? To establish Dharma, this war was fought. So Arjuna says the previous day, if you go to Bharata, he says, Vidyashankar madam, Yatho Dharmas Tatho Jayaha, Yatho Krishnas Tatho Jayaha. That means what? Where Dharma is there, victory will be there. Where Krishna is there, victory will be there. I am supremely confident. Within no time, I will erase all the enemies and Dharma will be established. This is the confidence that he had. You understand what I am saying? Kumarji, understood, no? Mamtaji, right? That is the confidence he had. And less than 24 hours, to say in modern language, Naveen Balavadji, less than 24 hours after that great statement, when he is faced, when Paramatma, he knows the inner feeling of everybody. It's called Sarvantaryami. He knows Sarvajnaha. So he knows everybody's inner mind. The great Bhagavan puts a chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona. And that, what happens to Arjuna? He really broken, right? He breaks down, correct? The greatest warrior on planet Earth breaks down. Yes or no? Venkataraman sir. NK Venkataraman sir. Correct, no? Now, and that breakdown resulted in Arjuna first negotiating, argument, all those things. Finally, the message started. We have not reached the state of breakdown. Please understand. By God's grace, we have not reached the breakdown state, but we don't know when that breakdown state will come. What situation? We're all having small teething problems. Solving all bandage. You're putting bandage, and trying to run. But someday it may come. If it comes and you got a right guru, like Krishna Paramatma, a great teacher, you will learn. Mr. Om, please turn the camera. I think your camera is reversed. Om. Somebody tell Om is only dark. Om should be always lustrous. Omkara Swarupam is always should be full of light. Okay, please. I'm calling a person called Om. Okay, name in the Zoom meeting. Okay, fine. So we have not reached a state. So better late than never. Instead of going through the circumstance of breakdown, we have to understand there is a problem. If not today, some other day it will come and hit us. So let us be aware of that, and that will pave the way for us to appreciate why Bhagavan gave this supreme knowledge. So the first goal of first chapter is to understand that we are in a vicious cycle called Samsara Chakram. Please write down. And what is Samsara Chakram? Inability to be in a state of permanent happiness throughout the day, throughout the night. Samsara can be explained in so many ways. Venkataraman sir. One way it explains Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Now, another way is Janma Dukkam, Jara Dukkam. You can say so many things, but simply put in English, Samsaram is nothing but inability to be in a state of supreme peace and happiness, irrespective of all our surroundings. Naveen Balwat, it is not only when everything is going fine, I am rich, famous, happy, money in the bank, everything happy, all my things are going fine, that anybody can be happy, correct? You don't need any special knowledge. When things are not going the way you are expecting it to go, can I maintain my calm, peace, happiness? And that is the message of Gita. That is nothing but the translation of the great Mahavakya called Tattvamasi. The great Mahavakya of Chandogya Upanishad, Tattvamasi. Guru tells the disciple that you are the truth, you are the supreme principle, you are happiness. And so that is the message of Bhagavan starting from 2nd chapter, 11th shloka. But the first chapter gives an introduction to understand and appreciate. Like today, if you don't know the problem I have, can you get the right treatment with a doctor? You go to a doctor and say, sir, I don't know what is the symptoms, sir, you please treat me. Can a doctor treat a patient without knowing what is the problem? No, suppose the diagnosis is wrong. Suppose Santanam sir, T.S. Santanam sir, diagnosis is wrong. If the leg has got a problem, they will operate the hand. Sometimes it happens. You see, some cases in hospital, instead of some problem of intestine, they will operate the pancreas. Something they do, correct? So unless you know the problem, you cannot find the solution. Great saying in English. Knowing the problem is 50% of solution. Please understand. We don't know the problem. So we have not even got the 50%. If you know the problem, do you all of you are in agreement that I am not able to be in a state of supreme peace and happiness throughout our life? Is it not something that we all accept? Correct? Is it not common to everybody? Chandrasekhar Nagoram, correct? Right? This is a very practical thing. And who has got this problem? Everybody has got the problem, from Japan to California, from Iceland to New Zealand. That covers the whole world, right? Generally. No, somebody missed out one part of India and they got a big backlash. Please understand. So from Japan to California, from Iceland to New Zealand, every human being has got the problem, correct? And Bhagavan gives the solution to this universal problem. So Bhagavad Gita is universal. But before you enter into the solution, you should know the problem. And so the first chapter, one of the goals is to explain that there is a problem. So far, are you with me? If you say yes, then I'll go forward. Okay, you understand? The first goal of the first chapter is to understand there is a problem. What is the problem? We'll discover. In short, it is called as samsara in Sanskrit. In English, you can please replace it as inability to be in a state of complete peace and happiness throughout the life, 24/7 till our last breath. Jaishnu Sulakshan, you're getting the point? Young boy. Correct, no? Jaishnu. Okay, very good. Now, then the second goal of the first chapter is How is this solution emerging? The solution somewhere, it is written somewhere, or what? How is the solution emerging? The solution is emerging as a dialogue between a teacher and a disciple. That is how our ancient tradition has always been. Even today's tradition is, if you don't know mathematics, if you don't know calculus, if you don't know trigonometry, you should go to a teacher, right? Physics teacher, right? If you don't know physics, correct? Either you go to regular class or you go to special class. All our parents are busy putting their children in special class. If you get Saturday, Sunday, take the child from one physics class to mathematics class to that class to elocution class to debate, learning music. Good, very good. Please learn everything. Our Shastra say one should learn 64 class, 14 vidyas. Very good. But what are we doing? We are going to a teacher, correct? If you don't know. Correct, Veena? Veena Salamat, correct? We are going to a teacher to know, right? Similarly, here Arjuna had a problem. Unless he declared, I have a problem and you are my teacher, Bhagavan didn't open the mouth. Somebody asked the question in the last class, why did Bhagavan not teach Gita to Arjuna when they were friends? Arjuna and Krishna were greatest friends. But unless you accept even your friend as a teacher that friend won't teach you. That is Shastras. So Arjuna surrendered to Lord Krishna as a student to a teacher, and then the teaching happened. So the second goal of the first chapter is introduction of Guru and Shishya, teacher and disciple. And that's what is covered in serial number 1 and serial number 2. The goal, please look at the notes. I'm trying to be consistent with the notes. The goal of the first chapter is reflection of our life. That means what? Since you are moving from point to point and not looking at the deep-rooted problem, Raji Raghuramanji, see, one day at least you have to sit down and start reflecting. And that is what is happening to me. And what happens? Time runs, right? Time and tide wait for none. Before you are even aware, you are past 40, 50, 60. Correct? Saraswati Jaykumar Madam, correct? Saras Jaykumar. By the time you are realizing what is happening, time has gone away. Then your energy is not there. Krishna here, sir. Krishna here. Correct? So please understand that at some point in time, we have to sit down and ask the question. So Bhagavad Gita is helping us to ask the question. It is facilitating us to ask this question. You cannot get a greater facilitator than Bhagavad Gita. It is facilitating you how to think, what to think, when to think, and which way to think. Please understand. That is the first goal of the first. That's the reason. Please don't ignore the first chapter. Many people say, first chapter में कुछ नहीं है भाई, क्या है, कुछ बोलता है, हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, something they say, skip, go to second chapter. No, please take time and understand the problem. Without understanding problem, if you run, you will not get solution. Lavanya madam, they say in corporate, no, if you say to hell with planning, go do something useful. That means what? Don't spend time planning. 1 hour planning, when write some code, they'll say, I'm telling you, 1 hour you plan, 100 people work properly. People who are in corporate can vouch for them, correct? If you spend 1 hour in proper planning, 100 people write code properly, end of the day, you will get a proper product, correct? If you don't plan, code also will not, it won't execute, correct? It will go blank. So please understand, we have to sit down and think, and that's why I'm taking 10 minutes extra to explain this. So goal is, can somebody summarize 2 goals of first chapter? Understanding the problem. Second is introduction of teacher and disciple. And so what should happen? We should don the role of Arjuna. We should become Arjuna. Look at Krishna Paramatma's statements in Bhagavad Gita and study according to what Bhagavan is saying. Follow sincerely with bhakti. In last class, somebody asked, is bhakti required? Bhakti is 100% required. Your bhakti, your puja, your japa, your nama sankirtana, all that is extremely important. With that only, you can go to the next level. Please understand. It is like boarding a flight. You board the flight of bhakti, board the flight of nama sankirtana, board the flight of all your japa, jnana, everything, and then go rise above to the jnana. Wonderful vehicle to reach jnana is bhakti. So please understand that we have to follow Bhagavan's advice sincerely with reverential attitude. And Krishna Paramatma here is a Jagat Guru. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. So have that attitude to Bhagavan. Let's start the study of Gita. Now we'll continue now with this background. I'll keep on giving you little bits. If I overload you with all the introduction, they'll say Sloka nahi hua. Mamta ji, Sloka bhi karna hai na? So Sloka shuru karenge. Let's start with our Pravaha with me chanting Sloka number 5. Today we're going to go at good speed. We'll try to cover up to 11. Pravaha ji, okay? We'll do that, okay? Sloka number 5. Now it is Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya is starting. I will chant, then you should chant. Okay, 2 times. Okay. Sanjaya Uvacha. Drishtaketuschekitanaha. Kashi Rajascha Viryavan. Purujit Kunti Bhojascha. Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. Chant together 2 times.
Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtaketuschekitanaha Kashi Rajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtaketuschekitanaha Kashi Rajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha.
Very good. All of us, let's stand together. Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtaketuschekitanaha Kashi Rajascha Viryavan Purujit Kunti Bhojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. Couple of things, please understand. We are also doing learning videos where you will get wonderful chanting of teacher 1, student twice. We are going to upload already. Dhyana Shloka is uploaded. Please go to our YouTube, Brahmavidya YouTube. There is a learning video on Dhyana Shloka. Similarly, all the chapters, the chanting also will be posted in YouTube. Please take some time out and listen and start practicing. Chanting the Bhagavad Gita gives a lot of benefit. One day we will take separate session. The Gita Mahatmya says, if you chant even 6 chapters sincerely, it is equal to doing in Godana. So there is so much mahima to chanting also. Please learn chanting also. And when you start chanting properly and then know the meaning, if you chant well, 1 mark, we say. If you know the meaning, 1,000 marks. And if you chant knowing the meaning, it is 10,000 marks. And when you chant knowing the meaning, I'll tell you, your entire body will be reverberating with energy. It is even more powerful than Veda mantras. So our Sri Matas don't need to worry. Why you are not chanting Veda mantras? Bhagavad Gita chanting is more powerful. Essence of all the Vedas is there in Bhagavad Gita. And when I've done this chanting entire Gita many times, let me tell you, when you do that chanting, the entire Roma Harsha, that the entire body will be reverberating. So please understand, that is the power of Gita chanting. So please learn chanting also. If you make mistakes, don't worry. Like we know a lot of things when you study Gita. If you make mistakes, don't worry. Please learn chanting in any language: Kannada, Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam, Oriya, French, Japanese, whichever language you take, but try to learn chanting of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now, what is this sloka? Overall meaning. Sloka number 5 says that. Now, what is the context? The context is that Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya what is happening battlefield. Sanjaya zoomed, Doordarshan, somebody told, has gone to the exact place where the Duryodhana is having a conversation with whom? His guru. Please understand. Duryodhana is having a conversation with his guru. Who is the guru? Who is Acharya in Mahabharata? Only one Acharya. Who is the Acharya in Mahabharata? Dronacharya. Very good. So Dronacharya is now telling so many things. In that, he is actually pointing out to the army of the Pandavas. As if Dronacharya does not know. Dronacharya is a universal teacher. He knows about Pandavas. He knows about everybody. Even then, he's pointing out. Why? Because he's got that no tickling in the mind that there, if I don't tell Dronacharya, he may be complacent. That's the reason he's pointing out. In this sloka, he's saying the names of different kings. Names of different kings to bring to attention of the great Acharya, Dronacharya, that they are all now supposed to say, beware, start planning. See, I just not told about planning. No, Duryodhana also is the king. He knows how to do planning. Kannan Ramachandran. Ravi Putrajunan. Our planning he is telling Dronacharya, start putting your plan in place. Maybe the planning can also be mental. You don't have everything in writing. A smart program manager will know what should happen when he will follow properly. Like that, he's telling Acharya that you see, start planning for all this. Who are the people he wants to focus on? Just some names. Drishtaketuhu. They are all kings. Drishtaketuhu. Chekitanaha. These are all kings. Okay. Then Viryavan Kashi Raja. See, Viryavan is not another king. Viryavan is a qualification for Kashi Raja. King of Kashi was always very famous for being very powerful and very, mighty. So one of the most powerful king, Kashi Raja, was supporting the Pandavas. I told in the last class, the word Mahabharata comes from the fact that Akhanda Bharat was involved in this war. All the kings of Akhanda Bharat split into 2 parties, 2 camps. One camp supported Duryodhana, one camp supported the Pandavas. It is like a mini world war. Hopefully now present crisis won't become world war. Okay, it's going. No, we should pray to Bhagavan, right? So that was a mini world war. So Kashi Raja was supporting the Pandava. So Duryodhana said, hey, Acharya, please see, Kashi Raja is a very powerful person. Drishtaketu, Jaikitana, Kashi Raja. Purujit, another great king. Then Kunti Bhojaha. Kunti Bhojaha is supposedly the father of Kunti. Kunti herself was old. You know, no, Bhavaartha, right? Ramakrishna, if Kunti is old and Kunti's father is fighting, that means what? Energy level in those days, even 100 and 120 years, they are powerful enough to come and stand in front and fight. In a Arjuna, sir, you understand, Ashaji? That means what? What we should do? Sudha, we have to also build that energy. We should get inspiration from this great, old men are fighting. We are all 30, 40, adukulla, tired, tension, problem. Why? Look at it. Kunti Bhojaha. He is also fighting for the Pandavas. Energized. Correct, Venkataraman. Correct. Next. Shaibhyaha. Another great king. And Shaibhyaha's qualification is Narapungavaha. Best among men. Narapungavaha means this is an adjective for Shaibhyaha, who's the best among men, are all assembled here opposite to you. So, Acharya, please start planning. Quickly. Pada-vibhaaga Anvaya. Clear, no? Drishtaketuhu, Chekitanaha, Kashi Rajaha, Cha, Viryavan. Drishtaketuhu, Chekitanaha, Kashi Rajaha, Viryavan, Purujit, Kunti Bhojaha, Shaibhyaha, Cha, Narapungavaha. Chakaram should be replaced, to be put ahead of Shaibhyashta Narapungavaha. So that you understand the Anvaya, will get it. Atmanathan, Purujita. Drishtaketuhu, one king's name. Okay, Chekitanaha, another king's name. Anvaya I am doing now. Viryavane Kashi Rajaha. Chana and. Okay, so the Viryavan is not another king. Viryavan is the qualification or adjective for Kashi Rajaha. Viryavane Kashi Rajaha. The most powerful king of Kashi. Purujit is a king. Kunti Bhojaha. And Kunti Bhoja, also a king. Kunti's father. Then, Shaibhyaha. Chakaram means and. We've got different meanings in this context. Chakara means and. Shaibhyaha and Shaibhya. And Shaibhya's qualification is Narapungavaha. Best among men, greatest among men. So, adjective for Shaibhyaha. Clear, no? Sloka number 6. Pravarha, please come. Sanjaya uvacha yudha manyuscha vikrantaha uttamojascha viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva eva Maharathaha.
Sanjaya uvacha Yudhamanyascha Vikrantaha Uttamojascha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva eva Maharathaha. Sanjaya uvacha Yudhamanyuscha Vikrantaha Uttamojascha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarva eva Maharathaha.
Very good. Let's all stand. Prabhupada also chant in mute mode. Very good. Sanjaya uvacha yudhamanyuscha vikrantaha uttamojascha viryavan saubhadro draupadeyascha sarva eva maharathaha. Look at our little Prabhupada, how nicely she is chanting with bhakti bhavam. Like you see, you don't need to fold. At least you focus on the meaning, but have that reverential in the mind. Reverence should be in the mind. It is a bhavana. Bhakti is a bhavana. Please understand. So, Duryodhana is continuing the commentary. Duryodhana wants somehow make sure that, Dronacharya is not complacent because he is the key person who can do all the planning. So, he is telling, now continuing his conversation with Dronacharya, he says, moreover, I am not finished. There another big list is available. I am going to point out some more key warriors on the other side. Who are they? The powerful Yudhamanyu. The valiant Uttamojas. See, Uttamojas, that Uttamojas, no, the name comes like that. In Sanskrit, you have to give the right ending. Sakarantaha, Akarantaha, it will come like Nakarantaha will come. So don't bother about that. Okay, don't worry about that. Uttamojas is the name of the person. Abhimanyu. Who is Abhimanyu? You all know Abhimanyu, right? Abhimanyu's name is not there in Sloka, but implied somewhere. I'll tell you where it is implied. Abhimanyu. And Abhimanyu is the greatest warrior, right? You all know that, correct? Abhimanyu. And the 5 sons of Draupadi also are opposite to us, standing in front of us to fight us. All are assembled in front of us, the implied meaning. And all of them are great warriors. They're all Maharathaha. Last class I told who is the Athirathi, who is the Maharathi, right? They're all Maharathaha. So Acharya, please understand. Let us not be complacent. We have to fight with energy and vigor and planning and properly executing our plans. So please be aware. All these things is telling whom? Our Acharya. So let's go to word by word. Pada-vibhaaga. Yudhamanyuhu cha vikrantaha uttamaujaha. Okay. Uttamaujaha cha viryavan saubhadraha draupadeyaha cha sarva. Sarve, the sarva becomes sarve. Okay, sarve eva maharathaha. Okay, now Anvaya. Cha means what? Moreover. Continuing, no? Moreover. So Vikrantaha. Vikrantaha means what? Vikranta is not the name of a king. Vikranta is adjective. Like you all know, no? India had one INS Vikrant. Yes or no? You all forget everything, right? The first aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant. I had the great fortune of spending 6 hours in INS Vikrant. The NCC anyway went into the entire ship, saw everything there beautifully, no dock. So INS Vikrant. So Vikranta, see, it is there from olden days. That's the name you got. A lot of names in our, in our Indian officers, everything, government, all come from the Upanishads and the Smritis. So nice to analyze all those names. See, every kind of organization has got one elevating statement. If you go and analyze, it will be from our Upanishads or Vedas. So somebody can do homework on that. Tradition brings lot of strength. Let me tell you, tradition brings strength. So Vikrantaha. Vikrantaha what? Yudhamanyuhu. Yudhamanyu is called Vikrantaha. Very valorous, very powerful guy. Very, very powerful. Parakramashali. Somebody is saying, correct? Vikrantaha Yudhamanyuhu. So Vikrantaha is the adjective for Yudhamanyuhu. Then all are adjectives. See, second half is giving all adjectives. As if Dronacharya needs to know their qualification. What medal they have got, how many medals they have got, right? Like PVSM, AVSM, all those things, no? Like that. Then second one, Viryavan Uttamo Jaha Cha. See, on one hand is saying Vikrantaha. Second hand, Viryavan. So Uttamo Jaha, Uttamo, just another great king, is given the title here, Viryavan, adjective. No, Duryodhana is saying Viryavan. So even that king is there on opposite side. See, Vikrantaha, Viryavan. Then Saubhadraha. Subhadrayaha apatyam puman. Sanskrit word. Son of Subhadra is called Saubhadraha. Who is Saubhadraha? Abhimanyu. Very good, Ashaji. Nobody can forget Abhimanyu, right? The great war he fought in Chakravyuha. You all cannot forget. Very famous. Even now the name Abhimanyu means people will stand up and for a moment think about the great young boy. Right? So Saubhadraha, Abhimanyu. Then most powerful, so as like father, like son. See, Arjuna, greatest warrior, Abhimanyu has to be a great warrior. No doubt about it, correct? So Abhimanyu. Then cha Draupadeyaha. So one son from each of the Pandavas, from Draupadi, 5 sons of Draupadi, Bahuvachana. Draupadeyaha are all assembled here. Should basically connect with what Duryodhana is saying. And Sarve eva Maharathaha is always concluding and saying they are all great warriors. See, previous sloka also, he is also saying all are all great warriors. He is also saying, everywhere he is saying they are all great warriors. So, beware. Hey Acharya. Clear, no? Cha Vikrantaha Yudhamanyuhu Viryavan Uttamojaha Cha Saubhadraha Cha Draupadeyaha Sarve eva Maharathaha. Clear, no? All kings' names. Warning to our Acharya. Continuing. Sloka number 7. Sanjaya uvacha asmakantu vishishtaye tannibodhati jottama nayaka mama sainyasya sanyartham tan bravimite. Chant.
Sanjaya uvacha asmakam tu vishishtaye tannibodhadvijottama Nayaka mama sainyasya sanyartham tan bravimite. Sanjaya uvacha asmakam tu vishishtaye तान् निबोधद्विजोत्तम नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते.
Very good, Pravana. Very, very nice. All of us stand together. Sanjaya Uvacha Asmakantu Vishishtaye Tan Nibodhad Vijottama Nayaka Mama Sainyasya Samyartham Tan Bravimite. So now this is typical king, typical master of how to fight war, art of warfare, where you analyze, right, the strength and weakness of the opposite camp and my camp, correct? Comparison. In Raja Sagar, they do know every time before the beginning of any one-day match or test match, cricket match, they say, this person is equal to this person. This all-rounder is equal to this all-rounder. So this matching. They'll say, no, in the team, when they analyze two teams, they'll say, whom against whom? Like that, no, like that. Our Duryodhana also is analyzing. From our side, we're all there. So don't worry. He's actually telling Acharya, we have got people. Our side, we got good people. And what is he saying? Oh, best among Brahmanas, Dijottama. Addressing, hey Dijottama, best among Brahmanas. It means giving some credit. He's having a feeling. If I keep on commenting and telling to our Acharya, he may get irritated. So everyone praise the Guru. Hey Dijottama. He's praising him as Dijottama. Please understand, there is some sukshma. I'll tell you afterwards. I'll tell you after class. Lot of things extra information I'll tell you after class. Because if I start deviating, then the subject will move. Dijottama. Best among Brahmana. Brahmana Sreshta. Very good. iPhone home. Put your name. No, how can I call you iPhone home? Put your name properly in the Zoom so that we call you properly. You cannot become iPhone home. Should be some name, correct? Oh, best among Brahmanas. May you know those who are prominent among us. That means what? There are many people beyond these prominent people among us. And they are all leaders of the army, of my army. That means what? There are various, division, section, every division will have a commander. So they are all leaders of my army. My army. Underline the word my. So how to study Gita now? My army, he is saying. Understand? My army. I am mentioning them to you for the sake of information. All the words are heavily loaded. I am mentioning them to you for the sake of information. I mean information. So, Acharya is information from a Shishya. That's how the word was. Duryodhana's attitude. Please understand, this all reflects Duryodhana's attitude. I said in the prologue to the meeting note, I sent some few sentences, right? I hope you're all reading the meeting note, right? Zoom meeting note. Can somebody cut and paste that meeting note? In the beginning, let's start doing that as a ritual. Put that message in the chat box so that people know what is the orientation of this class. See, it is not merely reading the sloka and saying meaning going. There is something hidden behind why Vyasacharya has used these words that Duryodhana has told. It reflects Duryodhana's mindset. Arrogance combined with fear, combined with making sure that there's no complacency, anxiety, worries, everything is in Duryodhana's mind. All that is hidden meaning of Gita Shloka. Unless you sit with the Acharya, Sampradaya Acharya, Hima Binduji, you will not understand that they're all the things that are coming out, the hidden meanings of these particular words that Duryodhana is saying. So, hey, best among Brahmanas, may you know those who are prominent among us, the leaders of my army. I am mentioning them to you for the sake of information. Pada-vibhaaga. Asmakam tu vishishtaha. No? Vishishtaha ye tan nibodha. Two words. Tan nibodha. Dijottama. Sambodhana. He Dijottama. Nayakaha. Nayakaha mama sainyasya samyartham tan bravimi te. Okay, now, according to Anvaya, Hey Dijottama, oh best among Brahmanas. The question should come to all your mind. Should a Brahmana really fight? Should Brahmana, as per Shastras, a Brahmana should never go into war. He should never pick up arms. So, the day a Brahmana picked up arms in favor of Kauravas, Dharma has gone down on the side of Kauravas. Please understand. Raja Sagar Shastram, correct? So, a person who is not supposed to fight under any circumstances, total non-violence is the mantra for Brahmana. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma is the mantra for Brahmana. But for a Kshatriya, he can take to arms when situation arises. Correct? Arjun, Vinod, correct? So a Kshatriya is supposed to take up arms after going through 4 stages. What are the 4 stages? Sama, Dana, Bheda, then Danda. Even Sri Ramachandra gave all the chance to Ravana, right? Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. And I see, please understand, even though we are all Jnana Marga people, we like music a lot, we like Nama Sankirtana, we like bhajanas. Wonderful Kirtana, Saudavani madam of Kashi Raja. Sarasa Samadana Bheda Danda Chatura. Beautiful song in Kapi Narayani, Ragam, Rajasagar, special Ragam. Adala Padra, Tyaga Brahman Padra about Sri Ramachandra. He knew all the tacts. Samadana Bhed, Sarasamna, it was inbuilt in him. Sarasamna, epitome. He knows all the 4 techniques of Samadana Bheda Danda. And then if you go and take some time, analyze that song, it explains how Sri Ramachandra was the epitome of Dharma. He went through all the process. You don't take up arms without checking the boxes. What is checking the box? You have to go through. I'll explain one day after class. What is Samam, what is Dhanam, what is Bhedam, what is Dandam. If you start that, the class Sloka won't go. So much to say in Gita, I'm telling you. The study of Gita is so wonderful. He teaches us Dharma, our way of life, what we should know, what is the right attitude we should have. So many lessons. It will transform us, our character totally. It will make us divine. I'm telling you, if you have the right attitude, learn everything from Gita. It is not merely studying some verses and knowing word to word meaning. If you read like that, no value from Gita. Himaji, correct? You should know how to study Gita. That's why I say tradition. Follow traditional learning, not as it is. Traditional learning is important. So, He Dvijottama, He Brahmana, best among Uttama. So, best among Brahmins. Nibodha ta, nibodha, nitaram bodha, know well. May you know well, may you know them, know these people very well. I want you to know them well. Boss will come and say, no, know your customer properly. KYC, correct? Know your customer properly. Without knowing customers, no background, don't go and have a meeting. Do some homework. A good boss will tell the junior, correct? Like that, here as a king, he is telling his Acharya, chief commander, is telling that, may you know them. What? Our own people. Our own people we should know. Like, you know our people. Vishishtaha, who are prominent among us. I'm also telling you, who are prominent. Now he's come to this side. So analysis, that side is over. This side, equivalent people is telling this side. Vishishtaha, who are prominent. Asmakam tu, among us. Asmakam means us. Among us, there are also very prominent. Don't worry. So you don't need to worry. We've got good people on our side. Nayakaha. Nayakaha means leaders. That's how the Nayak comes. A lot of people have got titles, subtitle got Nayak, right? Some people you say, no, Govind Nayak, they keep name. No, Nayaka, they are all people, warrior class. So Nayakaha. Mahaprabhu has done a lot of wonderful nuggets like this. When he gives his Upanyasam, he will tell how a name is come, how the name Gupta has come, how the name, one day I want to share all those things. Nayaka has come. So nice. Chaturvedi has come, Trivedi has come, Vivedi has come. Should learn. That is our culture, tradition, right? Okay. Nayakaha, leaders. The leaders. Mama Sainyasya, of my army. You see, Asmakam was the previous word, now Mama. Mamakaram has come. Ahankaram, Mamakaram was the ruining principle for both Duryodhana and Ravana. Please understand, it's not very much different. Ahankara and Mamakara, correct. Arrogance and me and mine. Acharya writes in the Adhyasa Bhashya, you will be very surprised. Introduction Brahma Sutra, Raja Sagar, Acharya writes, Ahamidam, Mamedam. It is 𝐈𝐦𝐻𝐭. It is there present everywhere. That is what causes ruin. And to remove that, only Gita Shastram is there, Vedanta is there. So, Nayakaha Mama Sainyasya, Bravimi Tante, Bravimi, I am mentioning Tan, them, Te, to you. So, Bravimi Tante, I am mentioning them to you, right, Anvaya? Samyartham, for the sake of information. Samyartham, for the sake of information. So, now Anvaya, okay, Anvaya is over, right? He Dvijottama, Nibodha, Tan, Ye Vishishtaha, Asmakam tu, Nayakaha Mama Sainyasya, Bravimi Tante Samyartham. So, oh, best among Brahmanas, may you know those who are very prominent and important among us. Okay, you should analyze our own army. No, be clear that where all we are standing. Okay, among us, the leaders, commanders of my army, I am mentioning to you for the sake of information. Okay, so please understand. Contextually, I told that Brahmana should not, fight. So when the war actually happens, I'm just fast forwarding, a few days later into the Bhaavartha war. When Dronacharya questions, the Pandavas or some of the things, the steps they take, they bring Shikhandi, they bring a lot of things, right? They do things that are not exactly 100% Dharma. Dronacharya asks the question, then Bhimasena scolds our Acharya, that is Dronacharya. He says, who are you to talk about Dharma? You have broken the fundamental Dharma. As a Brahmana, you are not supposed to fight. When you are taken up arms, then you have no right to talk about Dharma. So please understand, as Mahaparibhava says, for a person professing Dharma, the person's requirement, qualification 100 times more than normal. The person should be following so sincerely all Dharmas before I can talk Dharma. Everybody cannot profess Dharma. If I have to profess Dharma, I should be 100 times better qualified to talk. So that's why whatever Dronacharya said will not have value because he himself did not follow. Could be different reason. Could be that the king saved him, he didn't have anything, gave him money, house and all those things. But end of the day, Dharma is Dharma. Dharma cannot do adjustment in Dharma. Some people say, sir, Kali Yuga, please adjust Dharma, sir. Dharma is the same whether in Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga or Dwapar Yuga. Satyamada Dharmam Chara is universal. You cannot Satyamada only in Satya Yuga and Satyam Vadha in Kali Yuga. Vadha and Vadha have two different meanings. Vadha na tell. Vadha means killing. Satyam Vadha. That's what is happening in Kali Yuga today. So please don't mistake. The same principle holds all the 4 yugas. You cannot change Sanatana. That's what Sanatana Dharma, somebody said. Sanatanam means Sadatanam. Ever existent, ever the same. It cannot change. That is why it's a way of life. Please understand. Ours is not a religion. The Hindu name is given by some foreigner to us. Way of life, morning to night, integrated with nature, integrated with Bhagavan, integrated with our principles of life. Greatest principles of life is what we're supposed to epitomize. And that's why it's called Bharata Varsh. I'll tell you, the word Bharat comes from the root Bharati. Bharati means, Bha means knowledge. Rati means reveling. We are a race or set of people who are supposed to revel in knowledge. Bharat Mata means epitome of knowledge, reveling in knowledge. Where are we going today? What are we doing? Please stop and think. Our own heritage should say, our name itself should say that we have to focus on knowledge. And knowledge is supreme. Right knowledge, not perverted knowledge. Please understand. Don't qualify that knowledge. Knowledge itself means supreme, truthful, pure knowledge. So that's what you should focus on. Continuing. One more sloka, 8. Sanjaya Vacha Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadatti Sataivacha.
Sanjaya Uvacha Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattistatthaivacha. Sanjaya Uvacha Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattistatthaivacha.
Together. Sanjaya Vacha Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadasthithataivacha. So now, continuing, Duryodhana is not ending. He says, I know, hey Acharya, you know already, you know them. Now, I'm going to give you the relative strength that we possess. And what are the other great people on our side? Now he says, you yourself, hey Acharya, Bhavan, you yourself. Then there is Bhishma, there is Karna, there is Kripa. Kripa is ever victorious in war. He's got a title. Nobody can beat Kripacharya in war. That is the greatness of Kripacharya. You all don't know, right? Kripa is who is ever victorious in war. Ashwathama, Chiranjeevi, right? Ashwathama is on our side. Vikarna, you know Vikarna, who is Vikarna, right? One of the brothers of Duryodhana, right? And Somadatta, so son of Somadatta. See, the name here is Somadattihi. See, that means son of Somadatta. See, Parashara's son is Parasharyaha. Somewhere we heard, no, Parasharyaha. Where did you hear Parasharyaha? Srividya madam, Parasharyaha. Ganesh Ramurti. Parasharya vachas saroja mamalam Gitartha gandhotkatam Nana Kyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam. Takkanu varano. Purinjida? Parasharasana Parasharoda's son per Parashar. That's one name. Sanskrit, that's how the names are defined. So Saumadatti is son of Somadatta. Nandakala Somadatta, Devadatta, very famous names. These names are used by Acharya in the Bhashya. Mamtaji, you read Acharya's Bhashyas, he uses these names for worldly examples. Okay. Now, coming to the point here, now the Pada-vibhaaga. Bhavan, Bhishmaha, cha, Karnaha, cha, Kripaha, cha, Samitinjayaha, Ashwathama, Vikarnaha, cha, Saumadatihi, Tatha, Eva, cha. Tatha plus Eva, Tathaiva. Now, Anvaya. Bhavan. See, when you address a person with respect, you should say Bhavan. When you go and take alms from a Sri Mata, you say Bhavati Bhikshandehi. Right? You should not call in singular. Bhavati, Bhavan. Simple Sanskrit words you learn. So Bhavan means respectfully yourself. Bhishmaha, cha. Now you are there. Now what is Duryodhana saying? I am not giving list of our army. As if Duryodhana doesn't know. Please understand. Look at the confusion in Duryodhana's mind. Bhavan, you are there on our side. Okay, he's not naming a warrior. He's only saying Bhavan. Bhavan is not name a warrior. Bina, Bina, Bhavan, Bhaskar and R. Bhavan is addressing, correct, Venkatraman, correct, addressing Dronacharya. You are there, he's saying, you are there. Because this means what? You should understand, dialogue is happening between Duryodhana and Dronacharya. How did I say that? Because this Bhavan has come, Bhavan. Bhishmaha, cha, Bhishmacharya, you know. Pitamaha, greatest character of Bharata, right? You know that, right? Bhishmaha, cha, Karnaha, cha, Kripaha, Samitinjayaha. Samitinjaya means ever victorious. Please understand, Samitinjayati Sarvada in Sanskrit. He always victorious and more. Kripaha, great, no, Kripacharya. It's also called Kripacharya. It's also Acharya. Kripaha, cha, Ashwathama, you know, Chiranjeevi. Who is Ashwathama? Quiz question, quickly. Answer the quiz. Who is Ashwathama? Vikarnaha, cha, Vikarna. Soul, Drona. Very good, Drona's son, very good. In fact, when Mahabharata was being fought, you know where Ashwathama went? He had gone to Himalayas to do tapas. He was not there at the time, but he went and then came back. So, Ashwathama is there the first day. Before the war, he went there and came. So, Ashwathama is there on our side. Vikarnaha, cha, tatha, eva Saumadattihi. And the son of Somadatta are present in our. So, this, can I take one more? Okay, time is up. No, we'll stop here. We'll continue. I wanted to finish actually up to 11, but couldn't take. But please understand here, Duryodhana is trying to explain the relative strength of army of Pandavas and his own army, so that Dronacharya as the chief planner doesn't get complacent. He is now doing the planning to execute how to defeat the enemies. And one way is to make sure that the strengths and weaknesses are known on either side. With this, I'll stop. We'll continue next class. And then a couple of things. Have all of you taken the quiz, please? There is one quiz we sent. The intention of quiz is not to question you or question your knowledge. Intention of quiz is to make you aware of Bhagavad Gita. You should get into Bhagavad Gita thought process. Satvik, clear, no? Ganesh Ramurthy, please go and take the quiz. There is a link. Maybe Lakshmi, can you share the link for the quiz when people can get the link? Okay. Please click the link. Wonderful, very simple questions. And all of you please answer. That also gets you into Bhagavad Gita. That's when you start. See, my Swamiji used to say, initially you study Bhagavad Gita like academics. Okay? I hope one day this Academy of Gita Studies is sponsored in MIT or Stanford or whatever, Harvard. I would like to have somebody sponsor a chair, a chair for Gita Studies. Most greatest scripture of mankind, universal. The sponsor, then we'll get very good people to be part of that group. Very nice scripture. So first study academically. So these kind of questions are going to say, oh, have I studied properly? Those things will come. So that you can understand the quiz. Then second point, in the class notes, somebody asked the question, why all the slokas are not mentioned? Please understand, the slokas, for slokas, specific slokas, please have the Gita book. I've been saying n number of times, please have a Gita textbook. These notes are not exclusive. These notes should be studied in conjunction with the Gita textbook, and notes serve additional information. What your Gita book doesn't give you, what even the greatest commentaries don't give you, this text, this whatever this course content will give you. So Gita book should be kept next to you. You should also have the course material next to you. Like that, that's the way you have to say. Complementary, correct, Venkataraman sir, very nice. And then make sure that you come with a very calm mind, Sundaramama, Suprabhatam, right? And chant the Prarthana Slokas, Dhyana Slokas, and then the Narayana Pravaktat, and then start the study. This 1 hour is enough for you. Open the book here, close the book here, you will get Gita Shastra. Shankar Mahadevan sir, right? So there is a different way we study the Gita. So with that, see, you may think that you're making slow progress. 4 or 5 slokas we are making, we'll definitely catch up speed. And don't think we'll go for eternity. Shankar Mahadevan sir is worried. I want to read the entire Gita in 3 years. Here, put a note. I remember all the messages all of you have put. I read all your messages. If you put any message in the chat box, I make sure I read everything before the next class. So don't worry. All your points you can put in the chat box. I'm going to go and look at it. Okay. With this, I'll conclude today's class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishna 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 Shubhamastu Samasta San Mangalani Bhantu Satyayeta. See, all the recordings are available in YouTube, Brahma Vidya YouTube, because immediately it's all live streamed, and also you can see it after the class also. And the notes are already available. Can somebody come? Both the notes are available. Please download them. My only request is please print the notes. 6-8 pages, please print it in front of you. Tomorrow, next class, you're going to look at the picture. Samsara Varnanam. Unless you look at the picture, you will not know. Radha Krishnan V. Sir. Samsaram na enna pada theriyum. Samsaram is minsaram. Theriyum pada. We'll know that. We'll understand that. Okay? Very nice. Now, with this, is there any questions we'll take, or you can close the class now? Okay? Anybody has any, I'll take 15 minutes of questions. If there are no questions, then we will end the class here. Ramakrishnan is the boss. He will take the call when to end the meeting. Fine? Is there, if you should raise your hand, put the hand.
There is a question.
Okay. Always you have questions. Okay, namaste.
I have a question. So we know that there are 14 lokas, right?
Correct.
The 7 lokas above us, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. And we assume that in Satyaloka, Brahmaji resides. That's what I understand. So when we talk about, release from samsara, we talked about that, in this class, we always talk about that, and that's the goal. How does this, when we talk about Vaikuntha or Kailasha, how does that relate to all these other lokas? First question. And the second question is, because when we talk about all these lokas, people talk about Sayujyam, Samipyam, Sarupyam, Salokyam. How does these two relate to release from samsara?
Okay, very good. These are all called Siddhantas. Okay. So for this, we should know that there are different schools of thought. Okay. There's a Dvaita Siddhantam was during Adi Shankaracharya and before Adi Shankaracharya, it's called Dvaitam, not even Dvaita Vedantam. Difference between Dvaitam and Dvaita Vedantam. Dvaitam means they believe that there are 2 different entities. One is Ishvara, another is, that's called Purusha Prakriti. One is Ishvara, some supreme principle, and the matter principle are 2 separate is the Vadam. That's called Dvaita Vadam. They don't accept the Advaita Vadam. And so Adi Shankaracharya came and established Advaitam. That means what? There is only one. Only one. What is all this many? You have to understand. Mahaperiyava said, no. You know what Mahavirya gave? Mathematical equation for Advaitam. He said, there is only one truth. That is Brahma Satyam, Brahmaiva Satyam. But when you divide that 1 by 0, what happens? What is 1 by 0? Infinity. So that 1, when it is divided by something that has no value, that is called 0, then you see infinite world. Okay, for that you have to study for this Janma. Maybe if you get the knowledge this Janma, fine, or many Janmas, you will know there's only one truth. The rest are all what is called as mithya. Brahma satyam, jagan mithya, jivo brahmaiva na paraha is the ultimate truth. So start from first principles. First and the ultimate and the greatest principle, the only principle is there is only one truth, that is Brahma Satyam, Brahmaiva Satyam, Jagan Mithya means everything else is only. Mithya means what? Seemingly real. Write down. Mithya means not unreal. Mithya means seemingly real. That means what? That which appears real to my sense organs, but when you analyze through knowledge, through jnanam, that's why jnana margam becomes important. Then it becomes unreal. So now, there are many lokas, you said, no. So what is the question about the lokas?
Are they real?
Are they real? They are real. When Shastras are saying, you should accept. Please understand, they are different. Suppose somebody is there in a village, remote village, in our India somewhere, no, who doesn't have been struggling for food. If you say, there is a place, in one place of in the world, in Earth itself, where an aeroplane will go on water. Seaplane is available, it will go like this. Will the person believe you? I mean, somebody in city also don't understand. This is something called seaplane. It can take off, land in water, open up, and then take like that. Plan something in Bombay also to take people from one place to another in seaplanes. They're doing right. So just because I cannot imagine, I cannot believe, you cannot say it doesn't exist. Shastras say they exist, and I told in the beginning of this class, a student of our Sanatana Dharma is supposed to be called Shastra Vishwasa Shali. Okay, so if you trust them, then you have to accept. Now, and what is the implication? Please understand the implication behind physical existence. See, you should not get ossified only in the gross world. These are different states of experience that a jiva has to go through. Just like we say, no, if somebody goes to Singapore, everybody enjoys clean air, clean roads, proper transport system works, correct? It is common to everybody. Whether you are earning $100 or $100 million, it's common to everybody, correct? Environment is same. But that cannot happen in other parts of the world. I don't want to name other parts, correct? Similarly, when you go to that loka, the conditions, the common conditions are the same for all the jivas there. So as you start rising from Bhuloka to Bhuvarloka to Swarloka to Maharloka to Janaloka to Tapoloka to Satyalokam, the field of experience varies and the happiness increases. Come for Taittiriya Upanishad class. It explains very clearly what are the various states of happiness people go through. Adhan padikkanum solradhu. Padikkaada மேதை ஆக முடியாது. புரிஞ்சுதா? படிக்கணும் எல்லாம். You should study. So the various experience, Satyalokam represents the highest happiness. And Satyalokam is where it's called Brahmalokam also. Brahmaji is a resident teacher there. Please understand. Just like what Brahma Vidya resident teacher, Brahmaji is resident teacher in Brahmaloka. And Brahmaji's role, in addition to creating Srishti, is supposed to create the world, right? Is also supposed to teach the jivas how to get out of samsara chakra. So even if you go to Brahmaloka, you don't have any release. Please understand, even Brahmaloka will not get you release from samsara chakra. You have to attend to Brahmaji's lessons on Vedanta. Please understand. Brahmaji will take special classes. Brahmaji, whenever he is free. That's why I say, please, all of you go to Brahma Vidya, our Brahma Vidya YouTube. There is one Anugrah Bhashanam by Periva. He gave specially to Brahma Vidya students in Oririkai during Chaturmasyam. In one of the portion in between, Periva says exactly the same words what I am telling you now. Whenever Brahmaji is free, he will come and sit down and say, I am going to teach now Vedanta. So he was saying, instead of going to Brahmaloka, to go to Brahmaloka is very difficult. Upanishad says, Nayesho jimmam na anratam na maya cheti. Upanishad padikino. So that requires extreme tapas, extreme brahmacharyam. Anratam irka kodadu. You should not have any untruth. No kutilatanam. Straightforwardness is required. 100%. Ritam satyam. You should practice brahmacharyam, tapas. Avlo irkano. Appadan you can go to Brahmaloka. And even then, when you after going to Brahmaloka, you will take Vedanta lessons. Whenever Brahmaji is free, you will open Brahma Sutrams. Athato Brahma Jignasa Janmadyasya Yatha Shastrayo Nitvat Tattu Samanvayat. He will speech. The last sutra, he will keep on teaching. Example, don't take literally. That means what? Unless you understand Vedanta, understand my true nature, Atma Jnanam, there is no release from samsara chakra. Clear? This is Advaita Vedantam, the epitome of all knowledge, the greatest knowledge that one can think of. Now, to understand this is very, very difficult. If I say you are pure conscious, will you agree? You will say that the teacher himself doesn't know. He's in different world. That's what you will say, correct? First of all, the teacher know properly is the question that you'll ask. So for that, it requires tremendous change in mindset. I said, no, sadhana chatush, last class I told no, sadhana chatush sampati is required, all the required. But just because you don't have that, you should not get exposure to knowledge, right? All of us not experts in quantum mechanics, but you like to go and have a peek of what is Schrodinger saying. No, what is Niels Bohr saying? We go and have a look at it. And we are giving you jalak. In the Gita class, we are giving you all this, so you can inspire to make it a mission for your life. Because without knowledge, without Advaita Jnanam, Maham Brahmastic Jnanam, you cannot get released from cycle of samsara. Okay, clear? Now I'm going to connect with your Sarupyam, Salokyam, Sayudyam, all these things, right? See, they are all the principles from Vaita Vedanta and Vishishta Advaita Vedanta. So same Vedanta. Vedanta means what? Antam, end portion of Vedas is called Vedanta, it's called Upanishads. Ultimate truth is being explained there, and that truth is only Advaitam. Let me be very clear. Okay, to understand that requires tremendous Purvajana Samskaram, Punyam, Sampradayam, and then also right knowledge, everything is required. And also so much sharp intellect is required. Drishyate tu agriya buddhi sukshmaya sukshmadarshivih. Kathopanishad says, one mantra says, your mind should be really sharp. Mind cannot get deviated in all this world, and then you can sit and say, no, you cannot understand Vedanta. You will not understand Advaitam if your mind is not totally engrossed in subject. That's why they say, take some break and study Advaitam, right? Anyway, we are studying. Nothing wrong. We can appreciate all these things. So don't think, only if I take a break, I will study. Like they say, no, I don't know mantras properly, so I don't know, I will not do some prayers. Even if it is not correct, please let us start studying. Okay, that is the point. What happened? Since this ultimate truth is difficult to comprehend, it's on God's leela to send different acharyas to the world. So he sent Madhvacharya who propagated Vaita Vedantam. That means what? Lord Hari is Paramatma, I am Jivatma. I am Alpam, he is Paramam. So that means what? The job of a Jiva is to do Bhakti, Seva, Archana, Puja, Dasyam, everything you do in this world. And if you are pure and have Bhakti Bhavam, you will reach Vaikuntham and you will be doing service to Bhagavan there. Now, different aspects. Sayudyamna being near. Sarupyam means your mindset will be like, I am also like Bhagavan Vishnu, like Meera Bhai used to have imagination, right? Like that. That's a special class. But overall, I'm telling you, the Bhakti Bhavana is being emphasized because it is easier to follow, correct? If I start, sit down and if I take Upanishads, I told you 1,201 mantras are there. Every mantra you take, do Pada-vibhaaga, Anvaya, understand meaning, Shankara Bhashyam, people will not be interested. So chant Rama Nama, chant Krishna Nama, do Archana, Puja, Tirtha Yatra, Japa. Very, very nice. Beautiful way. So that thing called as reaching Vaikuntha is same as reaching Brahmaloka. You can take as the equivalent. Okay. That means by being very pure and following all the right principles, you reach higher lokas, where once again you will realize even that is only transitory. Like say transit airport, right? You go from India to US, you have to go to either Frankfurt or through London airport. You go to the transit airport. And the transit airport, you have to sit and study. Then only you can get the next flight to moksha, which is called Jnanam. So that is what is preached by Madhvacharya. Same, listen, same Prasthanatrayam. Same Bhagavad Gita, same Brahma Sutram, they interpret in a way and say that. And this is good because at least it starts getting you something palatable. They say Advaitam, Brahmaiva Satyam, nothing else means you will say, I don't accept it, run away. So Dvaitam is a very good way. Then Acharya came and said, no, something beyond Dvaitam, Vishishta Advaitam. Vishishta Advaitam, I am part of Bhagavan, but not part of Bhagavan. Just like you say, no, your hair is there. Is the hair part of my body or not part of my body? Difficult to answer. If he says part of the body, then when I remove cut off some part of the hair, then it doesn't injure me, correct? It doesn't affect me. At the same time, when I touch it, I can get a feeling. So it's both a part and not a part. Vishishta is very Siddhantam. One day I'll explain that if you want, okay? So that itself says that that means what? You occupy the Sharirama Mahavishnu. Somewhere you are doing some seva. No, that is the bhavana there. And so he gives one level more. Madhvacharya may say that you are 100 feet away from Bhagavan. Only for your understanding. Don't think exactly 100 feet. Understanding. So you will be close to Bhagavan. There is a part of Bhagavan. If doesn't say you are part of Bhagavan, then Advaitam comes and says, you are Bhagavan. So please understand the progression from being slightly near to Bhagavan to being part of Bhagavan, and then you are Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi is the greatest proclamation of our Vedas. To understand that requires a lot of maturity of mind, Sampradayam, Guru, that reverential attitude, then Shastras, Sadhana, Chatusha Sampatti, Shravana, Manana, knowledge. It is possible here itself, provided that is the goal, provided you want the permanent solution. Please understand, I keep saying, you want allopathy, Ayurveda, or immunity, you choose. If you want immunity, study Vedanta and get the jnana. You got the answer for all the 3 questions or 2 questions?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, all the best. Hari Om. Okay, anybody else? I think the heavy question, heavy answer. Raja Sagar, yes sir. Good evening. Unmute pannunga.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Guruji, Hari Om. One question, Guruji. You mentioned bhakti is a means to jnana. So my question is, when we are busy doing bhakti, at what point would the nama rupa, fall and eventually look at, the oneness, right? The Brahman. Like, when does that one realize, or when does that realization happen? I am sure it is not in one lifetime, but
no, it will happen in this lifetime. You are gifted, it will happen in this lifetime. Why are you diffident? It may happen in this lifetime. No, it can happen anytime. Okay, is there any other question you got? Is there a question?
No, that's the only question.
Please understand that all these wonderful practices of Nama Sankirtana, Bhajana, Puja, in Carnatic music, please understand. People don't understand. Carnatic music is just not for performance. Mahabharata, Carnatic music, greatest level. Mahabharata, he will explain every kriti so beautifully. Sangeeta, Jnanamu, Bhakti Vina, Sanmargamu, Galadhe, Manasa. Right? So please understand, whichever practice you are doing as prayer to Bhagavan gives you what is called as Chitta Shuddhi, the purity of mind. The more and more you do all our Nama Sankirtana, Bhajana, Puja, Japa, Dhyana, Tirtha Yatra, it increases the purity of mind. And when purity of mind increases, then your own inner mind will yearn for longer happiness. And the bhajana pandrachave happiness kadikkum. It's called bhajana nanda, sankirtana nanda, nama sankirtana. Adike ananda kadikkum, correct? When you do bhajana and dance and all, you will have happiness, correct? But that is temporary. But by doing that again and again, many times, and doing your own japa, puja, everything, adike adrishta phalam nu peru. Write down. That's not drishta phalam. That's called adrishta phalam. Anything you do, dharma and punya, you get adrishta phalam. Adrishta means what? Not drishtam iti adrishtam. That which is not seen, unseen benefits you will get. And unseen benefits, when it will work, how it will work, to whom it will work, we cannot explain. Bhagavan will say later in Gita, Ghana karmano gatihi, kim karma kimakarmeti kavayopya atra mohitaha. Very difficult to explain how karma works. But this is all karma. It's called susamskrita karma. Acharya says in the Bhashyam, Acharya upadishta susamskrita mano buddhihi eva. So only by the very well advised mind, which is advised by right Acharya. Upadishta means that's advised by Acharya, right way, teacher. And susamskritam means what? All this bring you susamskritam. Samskritam means all the punyam starts getting deposited in our mind. And at one point in time, you start yearning for the longer period of permanent happiness. Correct? Today, we get a short period of happiness. Correct? We get jalak. Everybody gets happiness. Correct? You get happiness by eating gulab jamun or eating and seeing somebody, going to another place. Somebody going, what is that? If you go to some kind of cave, something, you get all those things. You get happiness. But you will yearn for the longer happiness, and then you start questioning. I told in the last class 3 questions. What are 3 questions? What is Jiva? What is Jagat? What is who am I? What is happening in the world? And what is God? When you start this inquiry, then it will lead you to the Vedanta Margam. It doesn't happen suddenly. This Nama Rupe Vihaya, Upanishad Mantra says, To drop this name and form doesn't happen, sir. It's a process. You study Gita, you understand. Please be with Bhagavad Gita till the end. Bhagavan beautifully says that he himself is beyond name and form. You are beyond name and form. He's going to advise that. There's a process to understand. You cannot just imagine. It's not imagination. It's not hallucination. Unlike your Sayujyam, Sarupyam, Salokyam, no hallucination. Please let me tell you. This is knowledge and here and now. If you want, you're interested, write down this sloka. Paroksha asatphalam karma jnanam pratyaksha satphalam. All of you can write down. All our people are waiting till now in the Q&A session. Please write down. Paroksha asatphalam karma. Paroksha means that which is unseen. You don't know. You're like, no, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And asat means what? Not permanent. All your karmas, whatever you are doing, have got two aspects. Paroksha and asat. Means what? You don't know when the result is going to come. It's not in front of you right now. But jnanam pratyaksha satphalam. You get jnanam, ramya, yes. Here and now you will realize my true nature and become state of supreme happiness. You don't have to wait for, you don't have to postpone. There is no postponement of happiness. There is no postponement of experience of the ultimate bliss in jnana margam. Here and now. Here and now. So, jnanam pratyaksha satphalam. So, this particular sloka says, jnanameva bhyaset tasmat iti Vedanta dindimaha. Great scripture called Vedanta dindimaha. Radha, you are studying Vedanta, right? In that one sloka says, Paroksha asatphalam karma. Somebody can write. Paroksha asatphalam karma jnanam pratyaksha satphalam jnanameva bhyaset tasmat iti Vedanta dindimaha. So, to your specific question, when will this name and form drop? Once you get into Vedanta, as I say, no, it's like a train. Chakkani Raja Margamu. Chakkani Raja, if you know Carnatic music, you know, it's a beautiful song. Chakkani Raja Margamu. You go in that path, which is first do all your Nama, Sankirtana, Puja, Japa, then sit on the flight or train. Take the train of Vedanta, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. Then you will finally say Nama Rupa does not exist. Nama Rupa is Maya. What? Sagar. It is a culmination of all knowledge. It is not that will come upfront. It is a culmination of investigative knowledge, knowledge through study of scriptures, systematic study of scriptures, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita through a traditional teacher who himself was understood through Guru, the Guru Parampara. Like then Gaudapada says, you know, in his Mandukya Karika, na kaschid jayate jivaha sambhavosya na vidyate etatta duttamam satyam yatra kinchinna jayate. You know, you are talking about Nama Rupa Vihaya, removing name and form. The great Gaudapada Acharya says, na kaschid jayate jivaha. There is nothing called as jiva that is born. Jivatvame negate panduvaru. You will get to that state, but for that, 2-3 things are required. You need to have interest. You need to spend some quality time. You should know that whether you like it or let me tell you another thing. Secret, I'll tell you a secret today. If you don't realize that in this Janma, like you said, you'll have to come again next Janma only for to answer this question. In some Janma, unless this question is answered and you get that knowledge and supreme peace, happiness here and now, your cycle of Janma Marana will not end. The sooner you awake, arise, like, you know, great awake, arise, uttishtata, jagrata, prapyavaran nibodhata. Go and search for a good teacher. Submit to the teacher, learn the Shastras, get that knowledge, become supremely blissful. The Nama Rupa will not go so easily. That Nama Rupa is Maya. Nama Rupa Guna is Maya. That is what is constantly attracting our attention through Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandham. All our 5 sense organs getting deviated. Sarvendriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha. Katopnish says, so all our Indriyas are getting drained by all unnecessary pursuit. Kaschidhiraha Pratyagatmana Vaikshute. 1 in crores decides, no, I'm wasting my life. Let me go inside, inward, let me take, understand the supreme truth. I am the truth. No, I am that. Somebody says, no, you are that. I am that. Don't go behind Asapradayam. You are that, Upanishad. Who am I? Upanishad. So don't go behind all these no fanciful statements. Sit down with the Guru, study the Shastras. Nama Rupana. When Jivatvame bedon. Nah. That is what our great teachers or Swamijis have wonderfully advised. Be on the path. It may not look very, realistic, or it may look very, very, it looks very unreasonable, right? Let us be frank. Radha Sagar. It's very difficult right now to understand what I'm saying, correct? Huh? But you be with the process, correct? That's why he says process is important. Like Dhoni says, in cricket, you all follow cricket, right? He says, forget about the result, follow the process. Result will happen. So follow the process. Come to Gita class, study more and more Vedanta. I'm not saying you should drop your other activities. Please do other activities also, sincerely, correctly. And the beauty is when you study Vedanta, my own experience, you'll become so efficient that what took you 2 hours to do earlier, you'll do in 1 hour. You get the extra 1 hour, correct? Bonus. Put it in Vedanta. Put it in Bhagavad Gita studies. It will happen. That's magic. It will happen. Everything takes time, right, Radha Sagar? Everything takes time in life, right? If you're able to do half the time, are you not going to be more efficient? You're not got more time under your control? Where would you put the time? You want to go and see some TV, mobile, do some gossiping, or unnecessary website you want to see, or study Gita. Choice is yours. Shreyascha, preyascha, manushya metaha. Both things approach human being. The elevating and not so elevating. You choose what you want to. And the intelligent person chooses the right path. Samskara. Did you get the answer? Can you state the answer in your own words? Because unless you are convinced, there is no point in me giving all the lectures. What is that you understood? Unmute and tell. Unmute. Tell me. Unmute. Once again muted.
Yes, Guruji. Yes. Continue down the path of Nitya Karma. Continue. And slowly the chitta will get purified. Correct. And at that point, it will happen that, Nama Rupa will... No. Vedanta studies. You forgot Vedanta right. Studies. Vedanta studies is important. Without Vedanta studies, Nama Rupa won't go. Please understand. Definitely we should do Nitya Karma, Nama Sankirtana, Puja, Japa, Dhyana, Bhajana, everything. But the purity of mind will lead you without even you knowing. When I was 8, 9 years old, I was searching for Vedanta lectures throughout the day. How? Your Purva Samskara will come. Your good activities will come. They will come and take you to the path. And then you will realize that this is what I need to do. Clear? So Bhagavan will say later, I'll tell you now, it's advanced information for you. No, what is the dialogue they show now for films? They release something before, no? I forget all this. I'm not in touch with it. What do they say? Before the film comes, they'll put something, no? Trial.
A teaser, whatever it is they put, no? A teaser, a trailer, correct. Bhagavan will say later in the Gita, there are only 2 paths, my dear Arjuna. Lokes mindhividha. Prakyaji is there. Lokes mindhividha nishtha pura prokta mayanakha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Padikaram, but meaning there in me. What is the meaning? Only 2 paths, my dear Arjuna. One is called Jnana Yoga, one is called Karma Yoga. And all your puja, japa, dhyana, nama sankirtan comes into Karma Yoga, preparatory step for getting jnana. And once so you can say, when am I eligible jnana? When you have done Karma Yoga properly, when you have done your japa, dhyana, you'll be in Jnana Yoga. And once you go to Jnana Yoga, as I said, no formula, easy go. Without Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga is impossible. Without Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga is incomplete. So you have to do Karma Yoga. You will have to get Jnana Yoga. You cannot avoid. You can avoid in this life. I keep saying, you can postpone it, but you cannot avoid it. You can postpone the Vichara Margam, but you cannot avoid it. And until you want the permanent peace, you will not do Vichara. Because if you are happy with what is happening, I am happy, sir. I am happy, you are happy, you will not investigate. When the desire for that true happiness comes, you will get into that and you will know. Okay? Clear? Are you okay? Very nice. Okay. Anybody else?
3 more questions.
That's all. We'll have to then move forward. Okay, please. Okay. Yes, sir. Ravi Nanjangod. You are in Nanjangod, sir? Where are you?
Namaskara.
Nanjundeshwara. Namage Ishta Devate. Where are you?
I am Boston.
Boston lidra. Very good. The intellectual place of US. Heli hengidira? Esto sedalli? Kannada chanagi barutte ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡ ಪಂಡಿತರು ಹೇಳಿ.
ನೀವು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಒಂದು 25 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಇದೀವಿ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ರಿವರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಬಾಸ್ಟನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
MIT ಹತ್ರ ಅಂತೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ರಿವರ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ, ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ರಿವರ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಟೇಕ್ ಎ ವಾಕ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಚಾರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ರಿವರ್, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೇಳಿ.
Absolutely. So my question was, ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, one of the things to decipher is getting to learn it right.
Correct.
So one of the things is, what ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, what is right to me may not be the right to the other person.
Correct.
Right? So ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ, how to achieve that balance? And I think Bharata is one classic case.
Correct. Very nice. ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ?
ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ
ಒಂದ್ ಸಾಕಲ್ವಾ? Very nice. I'll answer the question. So our Ravi Nanjangud, for benefit of all people, Nanjangud is a wonderful place in Karnataka. We've got a great temple for Lord Shiva. Nanjundeshwara is there. So if you come to the place, you can go and visit that. Anyway, coming to your question, Ravi ji, first of all, one should have what is called as Astika Buddhi. You say, no? Astika Bhakta Janare. The address in Kannada is, Astika Makkale, right? Astika means one who has got belief or trust. The root for the Astika is Asti iti bhavaha. Asti means it exists. The word Asti has got Asti, sonnaga it becomes bone. Asti, Alpa Pranam. Asti means it exists. What exists? Vedas are true, they exist. Dharma, Punyam, Papam exists, it is true. Other lokas exist. Like one lady asked, no, other lokas exist. You should know. Other lokas exist. Punarjanmam is there. So one who has got this Shastra Vishwasa Shali. First, you should trust the Shastras. Please understand. It's called Shraddha. If you don't have Shraddha to our Shastras, our Guru and Bhagavan, the triplet I told you, no? Dhyana Shloka itself is what? Shastra, Guru, Bhagavan. That's why Dhyana Shloka is like that. Without that, you cannot study properly. So one who has got trust in Shastras, Guru, Bhagavan will follow the right path. Okay. So your question of what is right, what is wrong has to be viewed from the lens of Shastras. We cannot view it from our own eyes. First point, please note down structure. I'll give you answer. Okay. Now, these are all truths and the explanations are beyond the ken of senses. Right? Has anybody seen Swargaloka? Has anybody seen Swargaloka? First, because Swargaloka, you should die to go to Swargaloka. Once you die, you won't come back in the same form. Correct? So to explain Swargaloka or to say what is in Brahmaloka, where Brahmaji comes and gives lecture, or what happens after getting jnana, is all called as Atindriya Vishayam, beyond the ken of senses and the mind. Write down the next point. So our Vedas say, Sarge loke na bhayam kincha nasti, na tatratvam na jaraya bibheti. So Veda mantras only will tell you what is Sarga, what is Naraka, what everything will tell. So unless you trust that, you will not be able to get the knowledge. And the beauty is when you trust and follow the Shastras, they culminate in experience. For example, 25 years back, you landed in Boston, correct? I'm sure you have an engineering background, I suppose. I'm assuming, I don't know, but you would have studied in some engineering college, correct? Okay. Yes. Now, when you are young, 7, 8 year old or 10 year old, your father will please study properly, studiously, get first rank in school, college, write your engineering exam properly, get good marks, then write GRE, TOEFL and all those things. Then you will land up in a good job in US, you'll go to Boston, you'll go to MIT, you'll see Charles River, you'll good consulting companies, he'll tell you all those things. Correct? You trusted your father or some advisor and followed the path. That's why you are where you are today, correct? Obviously, different loka from Nanjangud, from wherever you come from, Bangalore, somewhere, right? You are somewhere, but you will end up somewhere, correct? You trusted the process. Similarly, the Shastras tell you there is a process to reach the highest goal of life, which is Jnana Moksham. So unless you trust it, you will not reach that. First point. And what is right, what is wrong? The Shastras are always right. What Shastras don't say is always wrong. Please understand. Very clear line. It's very simple. Uttara tumba simple. Shastrakke anugunavagi yav vakyagalu iveyo. What is according to Shastras, they are right. What are not supported by Shastras are always wrong. Later in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will say, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karyam Vyavasthitau Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam karma kartum iharhasi. Somebody can put the reference. Some smart people can put the reference here. So the process, what is right, what is wrong? Only the Vedas and Shastras can say. If we don't know what is Vedas and Shastras, go to a person who knows Vedas and Shastras, ask them. They will say what is right, what is wrong. And that is only right and wrong. Everybody cannot have an opinion. Their opinion can be anything, doesn't have any value. I'm not I. None of us are answerable to any of the so-called intellectuals or rationalists or whatever they may profess, whatever they may say, inner engineering, that, all the blah, blah, blah. No value unless they are actually fortified by Shastric knowledge. And the path of Jnana, Vedanta is Shastric knowledge. Shastras are Vedantam. Shastram Vedantam Imamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankara Acharya Santu Janmani. So Vedanta Shastras for Jnana Margam. For your moksha, that is the golden standard, which is Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and Brahma Sutras. If anybody is saying anything in the world not connected to these three Shastras and related Shastras, you can take their entire saying and put it in a dustbin. Acharya says in Bhashya, Shastrajnaha api asampradaya vit murkhavadeva upekshaniyaha. Very powerful words. If a person may be knowledgeable, very flowery word, knows how to explain many things, but no Shastra background, no knowledge of Vedas, no knowledge of our Dharma, our Shastras, Upanishads, Dharma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, whatever he says, please put it in dustbin. So please understand, your YouTube, your videos have no value if they are not connected strongly with the Shastras. Strongly, very strongly. You cannot one place take the Shastras, another place leave the Shastras. Like there are other Siddhantas. Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purvamimamsa. 5 different Siddhantas are there. They are called Astika Matam. They also take Vedic statements, but they take selectively. They don't take in totality. In totality, who knows this knowledge of Vedas properly and able to explain everything correctly, only those people's statements you can take, and that is what will be the truth. Less will be untruth. Did you get the answer, sir?
Yes,
Ravi,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Huh? You please tell me in your word. To one line, you give the answer from your word, because then I know you understood. You should tell me what is truth, what is untruth.
No, I think it is, like you said, it is the trusting in Shastra, and anything that is based on the statements of Shastra alone would be considered as truth.
Correct.
Anything otherwise is untrue.
Correct.
So,
perfect. Tell me. Continue.
No, I think this is just the start, which is like having trust is just one. Correct. And then executing on that will ultimately lead to to gaining more knowledge
and experience. It'll culminate in experience. Acharya Shankara is the beginning of Brahma Sutra. He says, Avagamyate. It is not bookish knowledge. It will culminate in experience of the ultimate truth. It is not something that is just going to remain in the book. It becomes your own. For that, you have to put effort, correct? Do not put the effort to reach where you are today. You tell me frankly. Forget about people around you. You should talk frankly, sir. Today you are what you are because you have put the effort, correct?
Absolutely.
No gain without pain. Whether it is academic, whether it is your worldly affairs, your corporate life. I've been as busy like any of you, working 21 hours a day, working 15 countries all over the world. I was in Boston many times. I've been there so many times. So to be there, do that, it takes an effort, correct? To be successful in corporate is not easy, right?
Absolutely. And it is incredible that you have done both. And
that is all God's grace. Okay, that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that without effort, you cannot succeed. There's no easy solution to problems. You should try. You should go the right. God's grace is when you're chosen the right path. Let me tell you my own experience. Very early, catch on to the right path, because you don't need to waste your time on 20 years thinking, I went to the wrong person, I went to the wrong thought process, wrong leader, wrong teacher. And that means your Papa Karma has taken you to the wrong teacher. Only Punyavans will go to the right teacher. Shastras say that. So teachers are various are there. You are blessed, you are in the Sampradaya path. You will get that knowledge very soon. Okay?
Thank you.
Are you confident or not? Are you confident that you can make it happen?
Yes, I am. And I'm getting more with each class.
You know our famous Kannada song, no? Agadu yendu kai katti kulitere agadu kelasavu munde, right?
Right.
Manasandu iddare saku, right? So this is enough. Right. Okay, very good. Nice talking to you. God bless.
All
the best. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we are done. Oh, okay. What else? Who else has a question? Ravichandran, you please ask because he has not asked question. Okay. Bhuvaneshwari madam கேக்குறீங்களா கேளுங்க. சீக்கிரம். Okay. Unmute பண்ணுங்க.
நமஸ்காரம்.
ஹரியோம்.
இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பேசினவர் வந்து நான் கேட்டதோட he asked the question I wanted to ask in detail.
Okay.
I just have one question. If we are reading we are beginning to understand Bhagavad Gita and all that. Is Shastram does it segregate between man and woman? I really want to understand that because our set of rules for men and women is very different. And sometimes I find what is there for women doesn't allow us to learn many things that we are supposed to learn. Men have the opportunity and many don't make use of it. I'm not talking about those people. But even when women want to learn, we don't get an opportunity. So is that the...
Okay, please understand first. The ultimate goal of life, you should be very clear. Your interest in the means or the end. No, sir, it's going to be a conversation. It cannot be one way. You are interested in the means or the end?
End.
Huh?
End.
So, whichever is easy for you, if that means is being prescribed for you to get to the end, are you happy or not?
Sure.
Correct, huh? End of the day, you need to reach the end. Okay. The end goal of all human efforts, whether it is man, human, lady or purusha or stri, I would like to use those words. I don't use woman, man. Okay, anyway, fine. Man, woman, whatever. Mr., Mrs., Miss, whatever it is. The gender, because we don't do gender differentiation generally. So the ultimate goal is to establish yourself in supreme peace, happiness here and now. And that should happen while you are alive. There's no point, imagining I'll be happy after death. You tell me, is there any guarantee after death?
No.
Only after death you can hope that my LIC policy will go to my person I have given nominee. Correct? That's guarantee. Jeevan ke saath bhi, jeevan ke baad bhi. LIC statement. Correct? So we should not be like that. Here and now I should establish supreme peace. Correct? That is the goal that is common to everybody. Please understand. No Veda Bhavam, even Vedas don't differentiate on this aspect. There is one mantram, in Veda mantram, in a place called Aruna Prashnam. Surya Namaskaram, mantram, Veda mantram varde. Taitiri Aranyakathla, Madal Prashnam varde. Says, Striyas Satihi, Ta'ume Pugumsa Ahuhu. Veda mantras are saying, not any human being. Says, Striyaha Satihi, even if they are ladies, Satihi Striyaha. Those ladies or women or Sri Matas who got the right attitude to understand the ultimate truth. Vidyaranyar Bhasham is there. Great Vidyaranyar, right Bhasham. Commentary for this particular full mantra, I am taking that portion, letting you know that. Whoever Sri Matas are interested to sit and study this Vedanta Shastra, the ultimate knowledge, it gives you supreme peace and happiness, they can be considered equivalent to men. Ta'ume pumsa ahuhu. Pugumsa is the way that Krishna is being chanted. Pumsaha ahuhu. Pumsa means human, purushas. So that is why this Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta class is open to everybody, Stris and Purushas. Are you getting the point? There is no Vedam. Even Italian, Japanese, Japanese was there, lady was there last time. I don't know, is there here? American, anybody can study because it is giving solution to the ultimate problem of human existence, which is how to get rid of shoka and moha, worries and confusion. If you filter everything you have got in life about problems only two kinds. One is worries, one is confusion. Our Shastras also wonderfully categorized. You take anything. You can say, sir, I got problem with my relationship, my in-laws, my son. Everything finally comes into only two buckets. One is called shoka, one is called moha. Shoka means worries, moha means confusion. What to do, what not to do, right or wrong. These are the two basic fundamental problems of human existence. And Vedanta, this Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad and Brahma Sutras give you solution, permanent solution, only solution to these twin problems of human existence called shoka and moha. Open to all. So far clear? Open to all. Clear?
Yes.
Next. The way to reach, now the problem is, or the situation is, to come to Vedantic studies, which you are doing. This is part of Vedantic studies we are doing right now. It requires some preparatory steps. Are you getting my point? If my friend was there who talked about in Boston, maybe we were going to MIT or Harvard. Can everybody go to MIT, Harvard? Everybody cannot go, right? Qualification criteria is there, right? Right? Similarly, everybody cannot do PhD, right? So what is Vedanta is like the final knowledge, final information you need to get for making your life successful. Some preparation required, correct? Correct, preparation required. Now, everything else other than Vedantic studies is called preparation. They are called Karma Yoga. Write down. Anything other than Jnana Yoga, which is study of Vedanta Shastra, is called Jnana Yoga. Please understand. Study of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutram, and related texts, Acharyas, Prakarana Granthas, all those things are called Vedanta. And it's called Jnana Margam. That's called Jnana Yoga. Anything other than that falls in one bucket called Karma Yoga. So everything is two buckets. Shoka Moha is two buckets. Okay? And Karma Yoga is one bucket. Jnana Yoga is another bucket. And the beauty is, when you do Karma Yoga, what all Karma Yoga contains many, many things. Veda Parayanam, Stotram, Sahasrana Parayanam, Puja, Tulasi Puja, Shanmata Puja, Pancha, different types of pujas are there. Dhyana, Japa, Homa, Tirtha Yatra, all those are only practices which are called Karma Yoga, meant for purifying the mind to reach Jnana Yoga. Understand? Are you getting the point? Panchayatana Puja, Chanmata Puja, all those things the people do, no? Abhishekam and all those things, right? And Shodashopachara Puja. No? Even chanting Veda mantras also is only a step. I would say only 10 marks or 20 marks in the long journey of life to get jnanam. If you want a mathematical, don't take it as ossified truth. It is giving indication. So, what does all these practices give for you? Please understand. There can be 25 different practices. What are practices? I told you. Stotra Parayan. Right from what you do in the morning, putting water in front of the house and doing kolam. From there, it's all building good samskaras in the mind. Good samskaras, nalla chitta shuddhi varthukku nalla impressions are being formed correctly. All bad impressions are removed pandrathukum, good varathukum pandra activities idella. So it can start from putting kolam, lighting a lamp, no? All those things, no? Then doing puja, then japa, chanting Veda mantras, doing homa, Tirtha Yatra, having Acharya Darshanam, all those things, Nama Sankirtanam, Bhajanai, singing Carnatic music, Bhakti Bhavam, not for name and fame. No, your Sahasrana Paranam, Soundaraladi, Shivandari, everything that Acharya has told as part of Bhakti Sangeetam and all those things. No, you Mudakarata, Modagana, Budichi, Allah, correct? All those practices are meant to purify the mind. And certain things are supposed to be called as Nitya Karmas, means what? You have to do every day, 3 times a day, without fail, without any, exception. Nah, even if you are traveling, you're supposed to do, when you reach the place, you're supposed to practice and do that. So certain things are meant to be done every day without fail. And those things are not possible by a set of people. Correct? You understand when I say that, correct? Correct, no? So that doesn't matter. For that person, the purificationary path is like this. For this person, the purification path is like what? You do japa, you do japam solli kuduthukran liya. Yo deva sabita smakam dhiyo dharma digocharaha prevayet tasya yadbhargaha tadvarani upasme. Same Gayatri mantra la vara ade meaning the sloka rupathil irukke. This particular sloka has got. Ladies can chant it. Everybody can chant it. So, there is a means prescribed for getting the same ultimate goal. So, once again, that's why I asked you. For you, end is important, means are important. If you get stuck to the means, you will never get to the end. Let me tell you, if you start debating why this, why that, you will never get to the end. So, focus on the end. I can do 10 things. And I'll tell you another example. If your end goal is to earn money, whether you're a lawyer, engineer, chartered accountant, doctor, a businessman, politician, okay, you can still earn money, correct? Right? So, the means no longer matter when the goal is very clear, end is clear, correct? So, focus on the goal and means follow what I can. For example, I cannot become a space scientist. I cannot go to space and do the IS, International Space Station, I cannot man. I am not eligible for that. For that, I have to go through zero gravity test, test. So, I better do Vedanta studies and leave that to somebody else. Similarly, What I am equipped to do, let me do that. And these are all only preparation. This is not the final. It is like playing first round, second round, tennis, Wimbledon tennis, no, US Open. Aim is getting Wimbledon Cup or, passing first round, second round. Go to the semi-finals, finals. No, like that. Similarly, I told in the last class one day, what is a rule in US cannot be a rule in India. There you are left hand drive, right side of the road driving. In India, what is the driving? Right hand drives in left hand. So can you apply the same rule here? In two countries, you cannot apply the same rule. Two different countries, correct? Similarly, so rules are all mentioned as per our Shastras. They are told to follow this. And one who follows Shastras, just now we told Shastra Vishwasashali. Trust in it. And I'll tell you, once you start doing this, whatever is whatever you are expected to do as per our Shastras, number Munnorkal, our parents, how they do, just follow that with implicit bhakti bhavam. Very soon you will understand what I'm saying. That is only preparation. Whether a person is chanting Veda mantras or doing Agnihotram or doing Somayagam or anything, or I myself am doing Bhakti with Bhagavan, Nama Sankirtanam, Puja, Japa, Dhyana, prayers you are doing every day sincerely, all of us come to the mid stage called entry to Jnana Yogam. Please understand. Adhikaparana start race start days beginning lesson start from there. When you open this and understand what is Samsara Varnanam, understand who is Guru, who is Shishya, how to study Vedanta Shastras properly, everybody is welcome to that. So please don't lose the battle before even you enter the battle, right? Mahabharata battle, if Arjuna said, no, I won't fight and go away, what happened? You would not have won the war, correct? So don't get stuck on the small, these are all very small things. In fact, Upanishad mantra says, Anyavacha vimunchata. Don't get into this petty conversation. This very petty, according to very petty conversation. Am I getting purified by doing right activities mentioned for me? Kolam podatla purify. Let me live. I put water in front of us every day, morning 4:30. I do it. We can do that. They can do kolam. Deepam Jyoti Parambrahma, Deepam Jyoti Paranam, Deepam Hatirpi, Sandhyadikam Nostute, Shubham Karoti Kalyanam, Malaketano. So everybody should do certain things, but certain things should be done by certain people for certain reasons. You should not get stuck with the small things. Focus on the higher goal. When you catch the higher, the lower falls on automatically. If you keep on holding to small things, so drop the small things, only higher will come. Higher will come automatically when you higher lower. So Jnana Margam Maranona and the Bhagavana Prarthana Pannaka, whether I'm able to chant Vedas or not, doesn't really matter, correct? Does it really matter? Doesn't matter. Purnida, understood or not? You are all eligible. Goal is supreme peace, happiness. It is not whether I'm chanting Vedas or not chanting Vedas. Problem. In fact, Mahabharata Solva, Purushala punishment, Nitya Karma, Brahman, person is not supposed to be only in Puja, Japa, Adhyanam, Solra, Dijottamana Solna, Adhyanam, Adhyapanam, Yajanam, Yajanam, Patanam, Danam Pratigraha. Idam Padano. Swayama Adhyanam, Pana Soli should teach. Then what? Yajanam, Yajanam, Yagam Panano, Yagam Panna Vakano, Dhanam Panano, Dhanam Hankano. Now, only thing for a person. You should not expect what is going to happen tomorrow. That is the kind of life supposed to be. So let us not worry about small things. You are all blessed actually. I am telling you, all the three mothers are more blessed. In fact, in my own seeing, they have got more bhakti than other Purushas also. You are all blessed. You are on the right path. You will get to the goal faster than other people. Don't focus on the unnecessary things. That does not require. It's very limited. Now, you please tell me in words what you understood, because you are all ambassadors. You have to go and tell correctly. What is that you understood?
There is no difference between men and women, and we start going into
in Jnana Marga. Karma Margatalla and the deviation. Continue.
In terms of Karma Yoga, it is more about doing our Nitya Anushanam and all the Nitya Karmas that we need to do.
Correct.
And we need to make sure that we prepare ourselves mentally. I think it also gives fortitude. In addition to giving Chitta Shuddhi, it also gives fortitude to actually do the work. Because if you want to sit for a 1 hour class, it is not possible for us to sit. if we don't have the discipline to come and join.
Very nice, very well. That means what? Very fact, sitting to Bhagavad Gita class and listening to Vedanta means your mind is purified. In spiritual path, it is self-examination. There is no need for writing external examination. If you are able to sit and Vedanta Vakyam, Rasagulla Mari Irundunaka, Rasagulla Teval. Vedanta Vakyam, Bhagavad Gita Vakyam, Rasagulla Mari Irundunaka, you are already purified. Teve illa adalla. Sriyas Sati Tavume Pugumsa Ahuho Pashyata Kshanvan Navijeta Dandaha Kavirya Putrasa Imajiketa. Veda mantra solradhu. Vedas are giving you that eligibility. Why are you worried? Our Shastras keep the streets the highest level. Yatra naryastu pujyante tatra ramante devataha. Great words. Where the ladies or trees are worshipped, only the gods will give you the, astu. Now, ladakatonu ashirvadam பண்ணுவாங்க. Tatra ramante, ramante na ananda paduvanga. If in a house any ladies put to any trouble or titinalo illana avala azhavachalo vannu nadakadu. Avala sandosham vachikano. My Guruji is also a grihastha who taught me Vedanta for 20 years. Prasthana Therpasana, great Pandita. He will call his wife Mahalakshmi Annalakshmi. He says, my wife is the boss. I will listen to my wife and her. அப்பேற்பட்ட பண்டிதா சொல்லுவாரு. எனக்கு ஒண்ணும் இல்லை, எனக்கு வேளாவே கரெக்டா சாப்பாடு போடுறா, என் துணியை சுற்றி போடுறா, நான் பாட்டு சாஸ்திரம் படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கேன், இப்பேற்பட்ட வைஃப் நான் ரொம்ப புண்ணியம் அப்படி சொல்றாரு. அப்படிப்பட்ட ஞானி he is telling that. Please understand, learned people will also respect all the women. அதெல்லாம் ஒன்னும் தப்பு இல்லை. இவாவா சொல்றதை வச்சுன்னு போகாதீங்கோ. நம்ம சாஸ்திரமே 3 சொல்றது புரிஞ்சுக்கோ. லாஸ்ட் சொல்லி விட்டுறோம் பாருங்க. கர்மா, குணா, பாவனா, all 3 are important. Our Shastras don't only, Vedam only karma சொல்லல. 8 ஆத்மகுணம் சொல்றது, பாவனா சொல்றது. மாத்ரு தேவோ பவ, பித்ரு தேவோ பவ, ஆச்சாரிய தேவோ எல்லாம் சொல்றது இல்லையா? நிறைய இருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி. சோ இந்த 3 இருந்தாதான் ஒரு மனுஷன். வெறும் வந்து கர்மா ஒண்டி பண்றேன், you keep angry with people, you don't know சொன்னா only 30 marks, 33 marks. குணம் இருக்கணும். கரெக்டா சொல்றது இல்ல? பணம் என்னடா, பணம் பணம், குணம் தானடா நிரந்தரம். ரைட்டா? That gunam is required. Then bhavana is required. Bhakti bhavana to Mata, Pita, Guru, Deivam, elders. இருக்கணும். அப்பதான் all 3 put together is Sanatana Dharma. Not only karma, not only mantra, not only Vedas. Okay? If you are having guna bhavana itself is, அப்ப சொல்லலாம் இது ரெண்டும் போறமே சொல்லலாம். குணா பாவனா போறமே. இந்த குணா பாவனா பெரும்பாலும் other religions will say. But how to get good guna, good bhavana is only through karma. That's secret. Secret of Sanatana Dharma is by karma you can get guna and bhavana. Other religions say, speak the truth, be kind, do dhanam. அந்த தானம் பண்ணதுக்கு மனசு வரணுமே. செக் எடுத்துட்டு எழுத போறோம், 1 lakh எழுதுவோம், அப்புறம் வந்து 10,000 ஆகும், 1,000 ஆகும், 100 போட்டு செக் போட்டுருவோம். zeros will keep on reducing. ஆனா மனசு வரணுமே தானம் பண்றதுக்கு. வரமாட்டேங்கிறதே. பொய் சொல்லக்கூடாதுன்னு மனசுல வரணுமே, வரமாட்டேங்கிறது. ஸோ அதை பில்ட் பண்றதுதான் கர்மா. அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? த குணா பாவனா நல்லா வரத்துக்கு தான் கர்மா. The karma can be Veda mantras, can be Nitya karma, can be your upasana, can be your Agnihotra, can be homas, can be puja, can be japa, can be parayanam, can be anything, jnanam. Only means to the intermediate stage and then the final entry into jnana margam. புரிஞ்சுதா? டவுட்டே இருக்கக்கூடாது. Can you tell 100 other of your Sri Matas that this is the truth of Vedas? சொல்றீங்களா போயிட்டு? சொல்லுங்க சொல்லுங்க. ஜனங்களுக்கு புரியணும். அது நம்ம சனாதன தர்மம் வந்து ஒருத்தருக்கு சொல்லிதான் புரியுமே தவிர சூக்ஷ்மம் இவ்வளோ. I had to tell so much for you to understand. Correct? If I tell you in one line, you will not accept what I mean. Correct? So it requires a lot of interaction and dialogue for people to know this. Clear? Should be no doubt. Okay. Ram. Thank you. Okay. Ram Ramakrishna, he is the boss. He has to decide. If we have to close, we will close.
That's all, Guruji.
We will close, no? We'll close. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishna 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 Shubhamastu. Samasta San Mangalani Bhutyayeta. We'll meet again next Thursday and we can continue. Hari Om.